and welcome, my dear wine friends, to the Great Wine Capital International Wine Tasting. My name is Wolfgang Junglers. I'm a wine journalist, TV producer, president of the International Wine Journalist Federation, FIJEF, and I will be hosting this extraordinary wine tasting with 12 wines from the Great Wine Capitals. Join me for the next hour to journey to 5 continents into the world of high-quality wines. From Mainz to Lausanne, from Valparaiso to Cape Town, from San Francisco to Verona, from Bordeaux to Bilbao, from Mendoza to Adelaide, and from Australia to Porto. You will see and learn a lot about the 11 great wine capitals, their wine regions, their vintners, and we will introduce 12 typical wines from 11 great wine capitals wine regions to you. I am standing here in Mainz, Germany, in the Frankfurter Hof, on the occasion of the Great Wine Capital Annual Conference that is taking place in Mainz. Elke Höllein from the City Council of Mainz is responsible for the organization of the conference. Elke, what makes Mainz a great wine capital?
Our motto, the world of excellence, or a world of excellence, is speaking for itself. Mainz is very central, localized in Germany between almost all German wine regions. We produce excellent wines here, and Mainz is in the middle, is the capital city of all of this. So we think Mainz is the great wine capital of Germany and representing Germany in this global network.
Mainz is the heart of the German wine world. Is it very challenging organizing a conference in times of a pandemic? What will actually happen at the conference?
Yeah, it is a challenge. It has been a challenge because now we are here. We are celebrating this annual conference, this annual meeting. We tried to do it last year, but we had to cancel it. This year we have a hybrid version. So many of our delegates came. They came from Europe, they came from the US, but some of them cannot attend only virtually. They will be with us. We will work, we will talk, we will learn a lot, we will go on technical tours to our very nice, beautiful region of Rheinhessen. We will taste wines. And we will celebrate at the end the festive gala with the Best of Wine Tourism Awards.
Mainz is the host of the conference. Why is it so important for Mainz to be a great wine capital?
It is important because Mainz is a wine city since 2000 years. And this belonging to this network since 13 years now makes it much easier to make international promotion for this wines and wine tourism. And it's also very good to discuss, to exchange ideas, best practice examples. So we work together really between these 11 cities and their regions.
Thank you very much, Elke, and good luck for the conference.
Thank you.
I would like to give you an impression of Mainz and of the wine region Rheinhessen. We have prepared beautiful pictures for you.
Keep on working it out every single day. We keep on rocking it on like this now. Check it out now. Until that game begins, old tricks start wearing thin. I'll just keep on hustling. I'm gonna keep on hustling. Yeah, every single day. We keep on hustling, baby. Yeah, that's right. Work it out now. Work it out now. This deal's not meant for the faint of heart. The cogs are grinding, brothers gotta play his part. Dodge the bullet, another close shave. Just another comic surfer trying to ride the rest of the wave. Now is the time for us to shine, and we will climb to the highest heights. We'll fight the fights. Keep on keeping on, keep on hustling. 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 Another twist, baby. another drum. City set, place your bet. Take a side step and take the jump. In the odds, don't know how the coins will fall. In the here and now's down to the why. Time to make a call. Now is the time for us to shine, and we will climb to the highest heights. We'll fight the fights. Keep on keeping on, keep on hustling. Keep on keeping on, keep on hustling. Keep on keeping on, keep on hustling. Keep on keeping on, keep on hustling.
The first wine is a 2019 Bodenheimer Hoch Riesling Trocken, dry, selection Rheinhessen, produced by the winery City of Mainz. Stefan Fleischer, you are the winemaker of the Riesling. Is Riesling a typical grape for your winery?
As Spätburgunder, Pinot Noir is the most important red variety in Rheinhessen. Riesling is the most important white variety, and with 40% of our vineyards, Riesling is the most important grape variety for our winery.
A beautiful yellow color. How would you describe your wine?
Riesling as the Riesling as the queen of grape varieties has an enormous spectrum of flavors. With early harvest, you have citrus, green apple. With higher degree of ripeness, you get peach, apricot flavors, but only with healthy grapes to a high degree of ripeness, you get like this Selektion Rheinhessen, pineapple, passion fruit, tropical flavors, very rich, full-bodied Riesling.
And a nice balance between acidity and fruit, to me.
It is, for me, the philosophy for this wine is very simple. It is a celebration of ripe Riesling fruit flavors with the underlying minerality of the limestone that is typical for the Rheinhessen growing region.
So the terroir where it is grown, it is important for this type of wine.
It is always important, the soil, the microclimate, where we have a unique terroir in the Rhine River Valley. This vineyard is right on the edge of the Rhine River Valley, so we have limestone soil and a very protected microclimate that gives it the ripeness and to the fruit that salty flavor typical for limestone soil.
It is called Selection Rheinhessen. What does it mean?
Selektion Rheinhessen is a quality program of Rheinhessen Wine, our local winery association, based on indigenous varieties, old vineyards, limited yield per hectare, and only handpicking.
So it's a quality label. Thank you very much, Stefan Fleischer. Beautiful wine and a good wine to start with.
Enjoy yourself. Zum Wohl.
Juliane Schäfer is a Rheinhessen wine queen. All 13 German wine-growing regions are represented by a wine queen with a beautiful crown. Juliane, would you please give us more information about the German wine-growing region Rheinhessen?
Sure. Rheinhessen is our largest wine-growing region here in Germany with our capital Mainz. And our landscape is reflected by gentle rolling hills, which are definitely worth a trip for hiking, cycling or just relaxing. And here in Rheinhessen we produce, sure, Germany's top seller Riesling, but Rheinhessen stands for diversity. And therefore we can also join first-class Pinot Gris or reflect our homeland with traditional grape varieties such as Silvaner.
What is the most important wine grape in Rheinhessen then?
So in Rheinhessen it's diversity, but we have in the white wine mostly Riesling, which we are producing. But for example, the biggest area of Silvaner is in Rheinhessen.
Beautiful. You have seen the list of the 12 wines of our Great Wine Capital wine tasting. Of which wine from all the 12 are you most curious about?
I must say I'm very curious about my homeland, so I am very proud and also happy that we can taste the ideal growing conditions we have for our cool climate wines here in Rheinhessen due to our proximity to the Rhine. But as I was on a road trip in San Francisco after my studies, I'm also very interested in the Chardonnay from Napa Valley. But mostly I would say this tasting just stands for the diversity of all the great wine capitals, and that's just what it makes it so exciting to see what all is inside of these bottles.
Thank you very much, Juliane, for now. At the end of our wine tasting, I will ask you about which wine did surprise you the most, or which wine is your favorite. Thank you very much, Juliane Schäfer.
Thank you and enjoy.
Great Wine Capitals is a global wine network that was founded in 1999. Catherine Leparmentier-Daillot is the Managing Director of Great Wine Capitals, based in Bordeaux. Catherine, tell me, what is the idea of the Great Wine Capitals Global Network?
Well, the idea of the Great Wine Capitals Global Network is actually to promote our wine destinations of excellence. We are currently 11 members, great wine cities and associated wine regions all around the world. And we do want to focus on promoting those destinations. And we also intend to create partnerships, specific partnerships between the members to support and develop the wine and tourism-related industries and communities.
So how do the wine capitals work together then?
Well, we have an executive committee managing the network and chaired by an elected president. The executive committee determines and defines the strategy, mission and vision of the organization. Then we have local working groups to address the different topics that we're working on.
So it's a real international wine global network. What do you think? What will be the questions for the future? Sustainability?
Oh, sustainability is on the top of the plate for sure, and all what concerns global warming. But we are very much focused and working also on innovation, either in the vineyards or in all what's the commercial and marketing strategies that have been, launched in the latest months, and that are still followed up closely to see how we can benefit from all those innovations for the wine industry.
Are there any plans to have more than 11 members?
We certainly do. That's one of our objectives in our strategic plan 2030 is to increase a little bit the number of our members. We still want to remain, very exclusive organization, but we do have ideas to grow within a few other recognized wine-producing countries. So stay tuned.
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine, to Bordeaux, and good luck for you.
Thank you, Wolfgang. It was a pleasure.
Wine number 2 is also a Riesling, also from Rheinhessen. 2020 Niersteiner Riesling dry from limestone from the Domhof winery in Guntersblum. Alexander Baumann, you are the winemaker at the Domhof. Please tell us what kind of Riesling are we tasting?
We are tasting a 2020 Riesling from Niersteiner Kalkstein, a limestone soil. It is a little brother of the famous Riesling from Rotenhang, the Red Slope in Nierstein. The location of this vineyard is south of Nierstein. The limestone is 25 million years old, a time when Rheinhessen was still covered by the sea. This Riesling is a mineral character and very good balance of sweet and spicy. Very typical for my Riesling wines is a balance and harmony of minerals. Body, sweetness and acidity. Every Riesling has its own finesse. My goal is it to make fresh mineral Rieslings that reflect the different souls of wines, Van Hesse, Red Soul, Limestone and less.
Thank you very much, Alexander. And from Mainz on the River Rhine, we go to Lausanne at the Lake Geneva in Switzerland. The unique setting of the city of Lausanne is dominated by the spectacular view of the Alps and its mirror-like reflections in Lake Geneva in Switzerland. A great wine capital offering the best of natural culture and culinary highlights. A city in the middle of the countryside, embedded in nature and closely surrounded by the vineyards. An internationally diverse university city. The Lausanne wine region reflects the diversity of the vineyards. 4,000 hectares in terraces, high altitude vineyards, often on steep slopes, offering an alpine terroir. Switzerland is a cool climate wine producer. Our third wine is a wine chasselas. Morche Chasselas Vieille Vigne from Cave de la Côte. Chasselas is the most abundantly grown grape. It makes up to 2/3 of the Lausanne region's wine production. This wine heightens the senses, inviting the connoisseur to embark on a journey to the shores of Lake Geneva and sense the region with each glass. The subtle nature of this chasselas makes it a welcome guest at the dinner table, especially accompanying light meat and fish dishes. Chasselas offers a taste of fine fruits, a good balance of pears, pineapple and quinces. In Switzerland, they like to drink chasselas as an aperitif and together with a classic Swiss cheese fondue. The wine is produced by Cave de la Côte, a wine cooperative with 300 families that cultivates 400 hectares. Cave de la Côte is one of the leading wine producers in Switzerland. Follow me now from Switzerland to the other end of the world, to Valparaiso in Chile, South America. Our wine number 4 is a Sauvignon Blanc Reserve from William Cole Vineyards in Casablanca Valley near Valparaiso. And my next guest is Roberto Mais. Roberto, you are manager of the Estancia El Cuatro in Casablanca, also marketing manager at the Panamericana Hotels in Santiago de Chile, where you are at the moment. So tell me, what is so special about the Casablanca Valley?
Hello. Well, Casablanca is a pre-coastal valley that is located in the 5th region of Chile between the coastal mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It's very close to the capital of Chile, which is Santiago, and Valparaiso, a World Heritage City. We are recognized as the best valley in Chile for cultivation and production of exceptional white wines, especially Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, as well as cold climate red wines such as Pinot Noir, Syrah, Merlot, and Cabernet Franc too. Being a relatively young valley, all our vineyards have the highest technology and are interested in the new Chilean viticulture, which has drip irrigation system, which also allow an effective and reduced use of the most important natural resource, which is the water.
Okay. So this 2020 Sauvignon Blanc Reserve, is it a typical wine for the region?
Correct. As I mentioned, Sauvignon Blanc is one of the our queen wine in the Casablanca Valley.
And is the Casablanca Valley also a hotspot for wine tourism?
Well, it is, because it is very close to the capital, Santiago, and Valparaiso, our most important port in Chile. So many people come to Casablanca for wine tourism.
So what is so special about the landscape?
Well, the landscape, it's special because as difference from other wine regions in Chile or in the world, we have no river in order to get our vineyards irrigated. We have to drill holes into the ground to get the water out from it and irrigate our plants. The landscape is really beautiful. Something similar to Napa Valley.
Oh, okay. So you produce cool climate wines in Chile. Is the valley affected by the climate change as well?
Yes, sure. The climate change has made that we have no so much rain in the past years. Our normal rain in the Casablanca Valley is about 400 millimeters. And nowadays it's raining no more than 90 millimeters. So it's being a big issue nowadays in Chile, in the Casablanca, of course.
Okay, so you work in hotel industry. How important is wine tourism in your region?
Wine tourism is really important because people can see what we are offering in the Casablanca Valley, and other wine regions in Chile are much far from Santiago, which is much difficult to visit. So Casablanca is in a very good position for wine tourism in Chile.
Okay, thank you very much, Roberto, to Santiago, and all the best for you.
Thank you very much.
From the south of America to the south of Africa, enjoy pictures of Cape Town and the Cape winelands. Wine number 5 is a 2019 The View White Blend from the Delair Craft Winery in Stellenbosch. With its tropical fruit notes, the wine conquers the hearts of all white wine lovers, especially grapefruit and passion fruit pamper the senses, while undertones of nettle provide a light green note and give balance to the cuvée of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. Delair Craft is one of South Africa's most renowned wineries and one of the world's leading destinations for art and cuisine. Situated at the Heichhogel Pass, I hope I pronounced that correctly, between Stellenbosch and Franschhoek, the winery boasts a heavenly panorama and luxurious hospitality. The maritime influence of the cooling Atlantic breeze pampers the vineyards and guarantees intense fruit. What is it like to produce wine in South Africa? Ntsiki Bayela, winemaker and director of Aslina Wines, tells us about her passion for wine.
Ntsiki Bayela is one of South Africa's iconic winemakers who has forged a path to become a highly respected and admired name in the world of wine. In 2016, she established Aslina Wines, inspired by the strength and determination of her biggest influence, her grandmother. Aslina is renowned for its range of wines and is the realization of Ntsiki's dream to create an exceptional world-class brand.
I think when you're looking at the philosophy of winemaking, every person, they've got their own take in how they do certain things. I love nature. And because I love nature, I believe that it is important to let nature take its course when you do things, other than engineering it, but be the guardian. So we do the production, but we don't do a lot of addition of all these other things that you can add. But you just add the basics and allow the character of the wine and the personality of the wine to express itself. When I look at our wine industry, looking where I come from, I'll look around and there were very few black people in the industry. If I mean very few, that's around the 2000s. And I'll go to wine shows. When I started working in 2004, you could count the heads that are not white within the space of a wine show where people are coming to taste, talk about wine, enjoy and have fun. Certain wine shows, like for me, Soweto Wine Festival, that was one show that I remember going there for the first time when it started and realizing what a rainbow nation is, because everyone was there. And it was clear that there is progress. I think one, because there were talks about the wines, there were talks about the wine industry. And so people felt, oh, there is something that is different that we can engage ourselves in, that we can taste and consume, or that we can be involved in terms of whether it's business, whether it's employment, that we can be in certain levels of work. But it is happening. Things are changing. There are people getting involved at different levels of employment in the wine industry. There are people getting involved, whether starting their businesses in the wine industry. There is hope. If you look at the Western Cape, this is one of the most beautiful provinces. We've got beautiful wines, amazing wines. And we've got fynbos, we've got the sea, we've got the mountain. We've got so much to show to the world. We've got so much to give to the world. And so with all that, being part of the Great Wine Capitals, it's because of what we can give. And also the Great Wine Capital is there to actually help different countries or wine regions interlink, interconnect, and to be able to collaborate. So I think for young people to access the wine industry, I think in life, if you do not ask, you're not going to get. So it is important for young people to go out there and ask. And once, let's say, they've identified they want to get into the industry, it is important that they do their research to find out what is the industry about, and also give themselves to understand that if you want something, you need to work for it. So they need to work to get themselves to that point of being able to be in the industry. But at the same time, the industry needs to avail itself. It is important for the industry to have opportunities and have educational information times where they actually avail themselves to the youth to say, we are the wine industry, we are here. You know, these are things that you can have. These are things you can come and do within the industry. So it's basically a two-way. Everyone has to avail and everyone has to be open to that part of education.
Our next destination is Great Wine Capital, San Francisco, California, next to the wine region Napa Valley. Wine number 6 is a 2019 Chardonnay, Ghost Pines by L.M. Martini. The wine is a real powerhouse with compact structure and intense toasty aromas, paired with a bouquet of fresh lemon curd, spicy baked apple and Marabelle plums. The winery. The descendants of the pioneering founder Louis M. Martini are the third generation to grow wine. They are aware of their heritage, but think without limits, without the restrictions of traditional limitations. Also, the origin of the grapes changes from year to year. This philosophy delivers outstanding wines of consistent quality as well as impressive opulent smoothness and balance that can never be mistaken for ordinary. From California, we are going back to Europe. Verona in Italy is our next great wine capital. Wine number 7 is a 2020 Lugana Vigne Alte from the Sea Winery at the Lake Garda. And my guest is Federica. Federica, please tell us more about your Lugana Vigne Alte wine.
So, nice to meet you. We speak today about our Lugana Vigne Alte. Lugana is an elegant white wine from Verona, made with Turbiana grapes, a local grapes existing only on Lake Garda. Lugana, we can say as a two-face because it's a terroir divided in two different regions. One is Veneto, our region, and one is Lombardy. But in Veneto, with the commune of Peschiera del Garda and the city Verona, we represent the most important part for the volume of the wine. Lugana is, of course, light with a nice minerality coming from the soil, a morenic soil with clay and sand, and has a nice minerality together with a nice fruitness of citrus, of peach. It is a perfect wine to enjoy, I can say, every day.
Sounds very good. You are a family-run winery. What exactly is your position in the winery?
In Family Zeni, we are 3 brothers. Usually they say I tre moschettieri. And my brother is the winemaker, and I and my sister, we of course taste the wine before to sell, but our responsibility is to travel around the world and represent Zeni family and Zeni wine all over the markets.
As we can see, your winery exists since 1870, more than 150 years. Is a tradition a hurdle for you or an incentive?
I mean, be part of a family with 150 years, of course, is a challenge. We have a lot to say, a lot to tell, but of course, we are, I can say, we never come to the point. So we always can discover some other style of our wine. So we are happy to be a family, and we believe in a family winery, of course, looking always to the future and modernity.
What is more important for your winery in the north of Italy, white or red wine?
In our region, white wine is important, but I can say on the other side also red wine and rosé, because we are on Lake Garda, and Lake Garda is the most important territory for Bardolino Chiaretto. So I can say that white, red and rosé, they share almost the same part.
The Lake Garda is famous for its wine tourism. Did you suffer under the pandemic?
Of course, last year we suffered a lot. We are lucky because in any case for 3-4 months we could work. This year was an amazing summer, probably because the people didn't want to travel too much, and Lake Garda is really near Germany and Switzerland and Austria or Belgium. So actually we got really a lot of tourism and a lot of visitors. So we cannot complain. But of course, the pandemic make some trouble for us, like for everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Federica, and all the best for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One time, if you are on Lake Garda, you are invited.
I will come, thank you. Bordeaux is not only our next great wine capital, it is also the residence of great wine capitals. The Deputy Mayor of Bordeaux invites you to visit her city.
Hello everybody, I'm Brigitte Bloch, Deputy Mayor of the City of Bordeaux and President of the Bordeaux Tourist Office. I'm very pleased to welcome you today in Bordeaux to discover our wonderful and amazing vineyards. There are 3 reasons to come to Bordeaux. The first one is the landscape. It's very beautiful, the mixture between vineyards and villages, and also the people you will meet, because you will have direct contact with the people making the wine. The second reason is the diversity of the offer. You will have a lot of things to do and to see. Imagine sleeping in a barrel of wine, or mixing your own Bordeaux blend, or dreaming in front of a beautiful vineyard. And the third reason is the beautiful city of Bordeaux. It's the main capital of the wine, of course, in France, and it's a city lively with a lot of restaurants and activities to do. So please come to visit us. Be welcome in Bordeaux.
Wine number 8 is a 2016 Play Grand Reserve from Chateau Montcorset-Gassin. I'm welcoming Françoise Baudet. Françoise, where are you situated? Near to Bordeaux?
Hello. Yes, we are located north of Bordeaux, about 3/4 of an hour of Bordeaux, and on the right bank of the estuary of the Gironde, same side of Saint-Emilion.
Tell us something about your wine. I guess it's a typical Bordeaux blend.
Yes, we do have the typical Merlot and Cabernet in our blend. So more Merlot always in our blends because of the terroir, which is clay soil, limestone subsoil. And we also add a twist with the Malbec, which is also typical from our the Blaye area, and it gives a very nice a very nice fruity taste too.
Mm-hmm. How long did the wine stay in the barrique barrel?
So the Grand Reserve is kept 18 months in oak barrel, and we have about 50% are renew every year.
Mm-hmm. So it's all new oak or also old?
We have part new, and every year we remove 50%.
Okay. The chateau works strictly according to the terra vitis concept. What does that mean exactly?
So terra vitis is an environmental certification, which is representing all the regions of France, wine regions of France. It's based on the strict set of rules. We are from the plantation to the bottling, and it keeps evolving according to the challenges we have to meet, environmental challenges, of course, climate change. And so it's a very dynamic certification.
And you're doing it since 20 years already?
Yes, even more, but the certification started in 2004. But when my husband took over his father in '89, he decided to change the way it was farming at that time, which was like a pioneer to keep a bit of grass in between the rows, which was very new at that time.
Bordeaux wines are the most famous ones in the world. What do you think? Is that a pressure for you or an advantage?
Well, I would say both. It's an advantage because Bordeaux also is linked to this beautiful town, which has been renovated the past decades, and it's very nice area with a lot of stone houses, beautiful shadows, and it's also a pressure because we have to bring a new generation. We have to think about the new trends of consumption, and we have to adapt all the time, and to say also that Bordeaux is not only Grand Cru, but it's also many chateaus affordable and that people can enjoy for their everyday life.
Thank you very much, Françoise, and au revoir to Bordeaux.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Not far from Bordeaux, just a bit further south in Spain, is our next destination. Bilbao lies on the coast of the Bay of Biscay and is famous for its impressive architecture. Wine number 9 is a 2017 Vivanco Crianza from Bodega Vivanco. I welcome Tom Perry from Spain, wine expert. Tom, please tell us more about Bilbao and the wine.
Okay, well, Bilbao and Rioja are in an association in the Great Wine Capitals. Bilbao is the industrial, cultural, and gastronomic capital of the Basque Country. And Rioja is Spain's best known and best loved wine. We have a great deal of spectacular scenery in both the Bilbao and the Rioja region. We have 16 Michelin-starred restaurants between Bilbao and Rioja. For people who are not interested in spending so much money, we have lots of great restaurants serving local cuisine, both Basque and Riojan specialties. And we have something unique, I think, in the gastronomic world, and that is a huge number of tapas or pinchos bars. As you probably know, tapas and pinchos are small, very, very creative dishes that when you order several of them, they make a meal unto themselves. Rioja, the wine district, has about 65,000 hectares. It's mainly a red wine area. As far as wine tourism is concerned, which is a big thing for the Great Wine Capitals, we have over 200 wineries currently open to tourists. They offer unique experiences for the whole family. And I have to say that, well, both Bilbao and Rioja are fully open for business. I've been visiting restaurants, tapas bars, and wineries over the last week. And fortunately, we're getting back to normal. As far as the wine is concerned, the 2017 Vivanco Red, it's mainly made with Tempranillo. That's Rioja's signature grape variety. We have a small amount of Maturana and a small amount of Graciano in the blend. These are two varieties that are, Maturana is a variety that was rescued from extinction several years ago, and Graciano is a traditional part of a Rioja blend. The wine is a crianza, which means that it has to have been aged at least 12 months in oak. This particular wine has been aged for 16 months in small French and American barriques. And before release, the wine has been aged for another 6 months. Now, this is a 2017, so it's been in the bottle for, well, almost 2 years. So it's ready to drink. And I have to point out that in Rioja, we age the wine for you. You don't have to put it away for 2 or 3 years until it's ready to drink. We think this is a great advantage of our wines. And the wines are very elegant. They're soft. They have some tannins, and they go very, very well with all kinds of food. Now, you asked about the label. Well, both the bottle and the label are very interesting. The bottle is a reproduction of an 18th century hand-blown wine bottle that is on display in the Vivanco Museum of Wine Culture. The company decided that this was a great, shall we say, presentation card for the wine. And anyone who knows anything about wine will instantly recognize the label because it's a reproduction of Joan Mirò's The Troubadour, a painting from Miró that's also on display in the Vivanco Museum of Wine Culture. So lovely wine, interesting bottle with a lot of history behind it, and an unmistakable label.
Perfect. I like the wine. I like the label. Thank you very much, Tom, for that profound information, and all the best for Rioja.
Well, thank you very much. And we'll see you in Mainz in about 3 weeks. So looking forward to meeting you.
So do I. Thank you very much. Our next destination is in South America, in Argentina, at the heart of the Andes mountain range. Great Wine Capital Mendoza is located in the western central part of Argentina in the Cuyo region. Wine number 10 is a 2017 Bio Malbec from, I hope I pronounce it correctly, Caligiore. A vegan Malbec from the land of meat lovers, Argentina. The family-run winery guarantees no use of pesticides or chemicals in the production of its organic Malbec. Nevertheless, this red wine does not lack complexity and refinement. A thoroughly authentic and special Malbec. The crowning glories of organic wines is characterized by its complex aromas and pleasant finish. Only 5,320 bottles were bottled of this unique single vineyard edition. The winery is small, but a fine family business. The wines grow in natural and high-altitude organic systems, producing small-seeded grapes with a good balance of skin, surface and flesh. This results in wines that have pleasant tannins, excellent bouquet and versatile aroma. For Caligiore, every wine is a small work of art. My next guest is Maria Laura Ortiz in Mendoza. Hello and welcome.
Hello, it is a pleasure to be here with you.
My first question is vegan wine a trend in Argentina?
Yes, it starts to be a trend. There are more vegan people in Argentina. It's strange, as you know, we are a kind of a asado barbecue country. But there are more conscious people that are trying to be healthier and to take care of the environment. So they are demanding some vegan wines, but I think that it's in a small proportion at the moment of the market.
Malbec seems to be the most famous grape in Argentina. Is that still the case?
Yes, totally. We have been working for more than 100 years with Malbec. It's really our flagship. We are working, and at the beginning we used to produce only like kind of Malbec, one type of wine, and now we are trying to work and find the different expressions of different terroirs inside of Argentina.
Some Argentinian vintners told me because of the climate change, they have to shift their vineyards to higher altitude. Did you also hear about that?
Yes, totally true. We maybe 100 years ago, we used to cultivate between 500 and 800 meters above sea level. And now we are going higher and higher. At the moment, we have one of the highest vineyards in the world that is 3,111 meters over sea level. We are looking for freshness and coolest expressions, more vivid wines, and of course, discovering these new places for produce our iconic Malbec.
How important is wine tourism around Mendoza, where you live?
It's really important. As Mendoza is one of the great wine capitals in the world, as you know. We live and we drink and we breathe wine, and the wine tourism is a part of our culture. We have the best vineyards to show expressions. We receive people that want to maybe only visit wineries, but we receive people who want to maybe climb the Aconcagua mountain and they visit wineries. So it's really important for us.
Thank you very much, Maria Laura Ortiz, and all the best to you in Mendoza.
My pleasure.
We stay in the southern hemisphere. Just further east, Adelaide in South Australia is our next great wine capital.
Where our eyes are filled with greed, where they all come to feed on the longest day of the year. There'll be no sleeping here, where the hopeful meet the scene.
South Australia is indisputably Australia's wine state #1, producing 80% of Australia's premium wine and 50% of all bottled wine. South Australia has more than 3,250 vineyard owners, 680 wineries and 200 cellar doors within an hour's drive of the capital city of Adelaide. Wine number 11 is a 2019 Wise Series Shiraz from Yalumba Winery in Barossa Valley. Rich and ripe, this Shiraz is a gorgeous mouthful of South Australia with layers of ripe blackberries and Christmas cake on the palate, wrapped in soft, juicy, fully ripe tannins. The winery Yalumba is a winery located near the town of Gaston in South Australia in the Barossa Valley wine region. It was founded by the British brewer Samuel Smith, emigrated to Australia with his family from Dorset in 1847. Our last Great Wine Capital is a founding member of the global network, Porto in Portugal. A welcome note from the historical wine town on the Atlantic coast to you.
Hello, I am Ricardo Valente, Porto City Councillor for Economy, Tourism and Commerce. Porto is proud to be a founding member of the Great Wine Capitals Network, representing the extraordinary wine regions of Douro and Vinho Verde. Radically different in their characteristics, from the wines to the landscape, both regions offer international recognized wines and immersive and thrilling wine tourism experiences, being located at just a short distance from the city of Porto. As you may know, wine is an important part of our culture and economy, and we are very passionate about our wines and wine regions. I hope you can feel it when you come here, visit us, and experience all of the region's diversity. For now, we are happy to share with you a little taste of our region through port wine, one of the most iconic of all Portuguese wines. Cheers, or as we say, so.
Wine number 12 is a wine, but a port wine, a port fine tawny with a brick red color, aromas of dried fruits and nuts, pleasantly smooth texture on the palate, long and complex. The winery, the 5th generation Quinta, is located between Pinhao and Covas do Douro, that is in the middle of the Douro Valley on the right bank of the Douro. The steep vineyards are partly up to 250 meters high and slope towards the beautiful Douro. They belong to the top vineyards of the region. The extensive, internationally award-winning range includes a wide variety of port wines from fine rubies to vintage ports over 40 years old. Modern technology, but also restrictive hand harvesting, long storage in the best wooden barrels, they are called pipas, and classic grape stamping are integral parts of the Quinta. Some wines are already over 80 years old, but the average wine age is 35 years. We are coming to the end of the Great Wine Capital's international wine tasting with 12 wines from 11 Great Wine Capitals. A fascinating experience through the wine world in 5 continents. Juliane Schäfer, wine queen of the German wine region Rhine-Hessen, you have tasted all the 12 wines. Juliane, tell me, what is your spontaneous impression about it?
It was really exciting and enjoying all these great wines and to see the uniqueness which every region in the world showed. For me personally, I said it, Napa Valley, the Chardonnay, it was really good. But also I think the Rioja from Spain, it just brought us the sun to minds. So it was really great. And no region needs to hide. Instead, they should just more and more strengthen their unique character traits and make furthermore such great wines.
A perfect journey through the international world of wines. Thank you very much, Juliane, for joining us.
Thank you.
If you are interested in our tasting, you can buy the wines. Hans-Peter Schmidt from the company Der Weinschmidt in Mainz is selling the box with all the 12 wines. Hans-Peter, where and how can the wine be ordered?
It's very simple. You can order the wine package on my website, derweinschmidt.de.
Oh, is it that easy? You just give in your name and you
Very
can
easy.
order it. Yeah. And what is the price for the 12 bottles?
The price is 199 euros.
199 euros, but I guess packaging is extra.
It's plus.
Okay. Thank you very much for organizing all these beautiful wines for us. Thank you very much, Hans-Peter Schmidt. And that was the amazing Great Wine Capital International Wine Tasting. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And thank you very much for your interest. And perhaps we have inspired you to visit one day one of the great wine capitals in the world. Hope to see you again, and bye-bye.